Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Today I'm going to be making a Chantilly cake. I've never made one of these, but it looks and sounds really delicious, so I want to give it a try. So let me get started. I will say this is kind of a lengthy process of a cake, but in the end it looks like it will be really delicious. So I'm going to give this a try and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, to start with, I'm going to take 2½ cups of plain flour. You can use cake flour, but I'm using all-purpose. And it calls for 2½ cups. And I'm just going to sift it through my strainer. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, and I'm going to sift all of this together. And I'm going to just set this aside for the time being. Okay, next I'm going to take, let me say, first of all, your butter, your milk, your sour cream, you want all of that, and your eggs at room temperature. You do not want it cold. So I have 2/3 of a cup of sour cream and 2/3 of a cup of whole milk. To this I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of butter extract, and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. I'm just going to whisk this together until it's combined real well. And I'm going to set this aside. Okay, now I have 6 eggs that I've had sitting out to come to room temperature. And so I'm going to separate these, separate the white from the yolk. Now I'm going to prepare the cake batter. So I'll take 2 sticks of butter that have softened to room temperature, and I will add this to my mixing bowl. Okay, and I'll add 2 1/4 cups of sugar, and I'm going to mix this until it's blended, and then I'm going to beat it on high speed for 6 minutes. Okay, now I'll beat it for 6 minutes on high speed. Okay, now I'm going to stop it. It's halfway through my 6 minutes, and I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. And now I'll continue to beat it. Okay, the 6 minutes are up, and so now what I'm going to do is take the 6 egg whites, and I'm going to try to put 2 at the time. And then I will beat that on a medium speed. I want to scrape down the sides of my bowl and add the last 2. You want the batter to be fluffy, and so that's the way that it is. And so now to that, I'm going to add the dry and the wet ingredients 3 separate times. Before I do that, I want to take the dry ingredients and just whisk it together real well. Even though they were sifted, I want to give it a whisk. Okay, and now I will add 1/3 of it. And you know, in my past videos, I've always said you begin and end always with the dry mixture. But now with this recipe, what I do is add both. That's about 1/3, and I'm going to mix that just until it's combined, and then I will add another 1/3 and mix it just until combined. Now I want to scrape down the sides of the bowl again. I'll add the rest of the dry ingredients and the rest of the wet mixture. And I'm going to mix that until it's combined. And I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl once more. And I'm going to give this a final mix. Very briefly. Okay, now I am using parchment paper in the bottom of my pans. You want 3 9-inch cake pans. And I'm going to spray the sides with Baker's Joy. And now I'm going to spoon my batter. I'm going to try to spoon it evenly into these 3 pans. Now I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. So I'll spoon this out, try to level it off, and then I will put it in the oven and bake it for 25 to 30 minutes probably. Okay, now I'm going to just spread it out. And now I'm just going to give this a shake. And I'm going to pop these in the oven, and they will bake for 25 to 30 minutes. I will be back in just a minute to continue with the next step. Okay, for the next step, I'm going to make what is called simple syrup. And what I have to do is take a 1/2 cup of water and a 1/2 cup of sugar, granulated sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, I will let this simmer over medium heat for 3 or 4 minutes. And at that point, I'll take it off the heat, and this has to totally cool because I'll be adding this in between the layers, and I also will glaze the fruit at the end. The fruit that will be on top of the cake, I'll glaze it with it. So, okay, your cake, you're gonna you can use whatever fruit that's in season as long as it's not any type of a melon or anything like that that would weep. Any type of berry, and what I'm using is blackberry, blueberry, strawberry, and raspberry. And you need to rinse your berries a couple of hours ahead of time or even longer so that they can dry, air dry. And I have done that, and so what I'm going to do now is to get my strawberries sliced and get those ready to go in with the blueberries and the blackberries and the raspberries. Now you will want to keep some of those out so that you can garnish the top of your cake with them. So anyway, I'm going to get started now doing that while my syrup is cooking, and get them ready to go in between the layers as well as garnish the top of the cake. It's been about 4 minutes, so I'm going to take the syrup off of the heat, and that will just have to cool down completely before I can use it. You don't want your strawberries real thickly sliced. Okay, it's been 30 minutes since I put the cake in the oven, and I'm not sure. I hope this is going to be okay. It looks kind of sad. Okay, this has to cool completely. I don't know if I can turn this out without tearing it up. I'm going to wait. I'm going to let that cool some. I think it's going to come out okay, and maybe it will be okay. It's this one's all, it looked like it was raw, but it doesn't appear to be. I guess it's just the way the egg white makes it do. But anyway, I'll see in a little bit how this is going to be. Okay, my cake layers have cooled, and so now I'm going to make the Chantilly frosting that goes on it. And I'm going to start with a block, 8-ounce block of cold cream cheese that I have cubed into small cubes. And I'm going to put this in a bowl. And to this, I'm going to add an 8-ounce container of mascarpone cheese that is also cold. And you don't want to overwork your mascarpone cheese, because if you do, then it will become grainy. I'm also going to add 3/4 cups of confectioner sugar to this. I'm going to take my spatula and try to blend all of this together. I have my mixing bowl that goes to my stand mixer in the freezer getting really cold. Okay, I think that pretty well gets the powdered sugar mixed in. Okay, and so now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cake batter extract and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. I also add to this 3/4 cup more of confectioner sugar. And I'm just going to blend this. Okay, I've taken my bowl out of the freezer. It's good and cold. And so now I'm going to add 4 cups of heavy whipping cream, which is equivalent to a quart. And I also will add the cheese mixture to the heavy whipping cream. I'm going to add my whisk beater to my mixer. I'm going to mix this on low for 1 minute, and this will allow the cheese mixture and the whipping cream to come together. And then I'm going to mix it on high for about 4 minutes. Okay, and now I'm going to speed it up and beat it for about 4 minutes. Okay, that's been 4 minutes, and it's nice and thick. Okay, and now we can frost the cake. I have mixed my berries together, the 4 berries that I have. The blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, and strawberry. The strawberries which I've sliced. And these will go in between the layers. I'm undecided about whether or not to do this, is to put some of the syrup on this. But the lady that actually created this recipe, that's what she did. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit over it. She said it helps to make the cake really moist, but I don't know. This seems to me that it's going to be really sweet with this recipe that I've used. It wasn't the lady that created the recipe. She didn't have her recipe posted. But anyway, we're going to give it a try. So I'm going to start frosting it. Before I frost this, I'm going to slide this over and just put a dollop of icing down to keep it from slipping and sliding everywhere, because it's really wanting to slide. And I think I will use my regular spatula rather than the offset right now. So I'm just going to spread this around. Of course, you know this cake has to be refrigerated. You do need to take it out about an hour, hour and a half before you serve it. I'm just going to use my hands to try to place the berries about on it. You want to totally cover it with the fruit so that whoever is eating it gets a bite of fruit in every bite. Then we will put another layer, if I can pick it up without breaking it, and press it down. Oops, wait a minute, I forgot my syrup. I don't know, that syrup may make it too sweet, I just don't know. Oh gosh, good grief. Oh. Nothing like dolloping it right into the fruit. I dropped my frosting right into the fruit bowl. Oh well. Like I said the other day when I burned up the French onions I was making, I'm not perfect, nor do I even try to pretend that I am. I've got to clean my hands. All right, let's try spreading this. I'll use up these berries first since I had to be so smart and drop my icing into the berries. You know, they say don't sweat the small stuff, so I don't. I got too many other problems to worry about and not let this be an issue to me. I've got bigger issues than this. I should have put more fruit on that bottom layer, but I didn't. Live and learn, die and forget it all. That's what my mama used to always say. And that's pretty much the way it is. She was a wise woman. Okay, let's see. Where shall I put you? Right there. Okay, and then the last layer. Press it down. Put some syrup. And then we're just going to start bringing this around the sides. And it doesn't have to be perfect on the sides. You could either leave it like this, like a naked cake, or what I'm going to do is pipe the frosting up the sides. If you do a lot of cake baking and you don't have a turntable, I highly recommend you purchase one because it is a breeze. It makes the work so much easier and it's fun. Okay, I'm just going to clean off my plate, and that is probably okay. I'm going to use this large tip. It's a 366. It's a leaf tip that I'm going to decorate the sides of my cake with. And all I'm going to do is take this disposable pastry bag and I'm going to cut the tip off, put my coupling in my bag, and then I'll put my tip on that and tighten it down. And just set it inside this glass and put my frosting in it. Okay, and then I'm just going to, add some pressure, pull it straight up. Now to garnish this, what I'm gonna do is have it flowing, cascading down the side, because I've got so much of this fruit left over. So I'm gonna try this and see how it will look. Okay, I'm standing these slices in to give a little bit of dimension and depth to it. It has turned out really, really pretty. This will be our dessert for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, and this will be the dessert that we're having. I just hope it tastes half as good as it looks. I think it turned out really pretty. So I won't be doing a taste test on this today. Maybe tomorrow. Okay, and now I'm gonna just go over my fruit with this simple syrup and add a glaze to my fruit. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. This just makes the fruit have a shiny glaze to it, which I think would be really pretty. This cake is a little bit of an effort, but I think it's well worth it. Okay, I think that gets all of it coated. All right, that concludes this cake. I wish I had some mint leaves to go on that, but I don't have any, but that would be really pretty if I had some. But anyway, I'm gonna put this in a carrier and put it in the refrigerator to chill. That concludes this video, and I hope that you've enjoyed watching this. If you have a special occasion one day, it's really worth the effort. It's taken me longer than a normal cake that I would do, but it always takes longer when you're videoing something. I could have done it a lot faster had I not been videoing. But anyway, I think it turned out really beautiful. And so I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it chill overnight. And we will have this for our dessert tomorrow. But thank you for joining me. And if you haven't subscribed, won't you subscribe? You know, leave me a comment, click the like button, give me a thumbs up, and click the bell so you'll get another notification when I post another video. Thank you so much. And this is B-Boss saying, may the Lord bless and keep you and your family safe. And until the next time, have a great day. And I'll see you really soon. Bye.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Ta-da!
Oh, hold on, I get in your face. Do it again.
Ta-da!
Okay.
I'm gonna...
Okay.
Stop it. It's so annoying.
Okay, I'm gonna cut my cake now, and we're gonna do a taste test on it, and I'm not sure how this is gonna be, really. I've never made it.
You need a bigger saucer.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so now I'm going to do my taste test, and I hope it's good. It is really good. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought when I was making this, the layers were going to be a flop, but it actually is really good. See, you really see.